ladies, so today I wanted to share with you my everyday makeup routine. Now this is not a tutorial because I'm not a makeup artist and most of these techniques are fairly simple, but hopefully that means that if you see something you like, you'll be able to do the same thing at home fairly easily, right? Alright, now stay tuned because at the end of the video I have an exciting announcement to make and you'll finally find out what's behind the magic curtain.
Alright, let's just start off by saying how awkward it is to show up on camera for the first time without makeup. We're going to take our hair, we're going to clip it back with the clip, Essie button style. There we go, looking cute. And then, yeah, I've already prepped my skin here with a moisturizer. I used the Supermoist SPF 30 face cream by Skin Doctors and let it sink in. Yeah, I like this stuff. Then I'm going to apply some eye primer because my eyelids are fairly oily. I always have to touch up after about 4 hours or so if I'm not wearing anything. This eye primer is from Kiko. It's their eye base eye primer, just the simple one. It's about as good as Urban Decay's, which is kind of saying something because for the price this one's a lot cheaper. That being said, I'm not a huge fan of Urban Decay's eye primer. I find that it doesn't keep my eyeshadow on nearly as long as several other brands, but that's alright. And for foundation today, we're going for one of my favorites. This is the 123 Perfect Cream CC Cream by Bourjois, and I love this stuff. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything at all when you apply it. Now today, I'm going to be mixing two colors, the number 32 and 31, because I had a fake tan and it's kind of fading awkwardly, and my skin is just a little bit confused about what color it's supposed to be right now, so we're going to try and mix them together and see if we can get close. So I'm just blending this all in together with the Real Techniques Face Expert brush. You'll notice that I'm not doing too many circular motions. I'm not trying to pat it on to get heavier coverage. I'm actually just trying to spread it out as thin as possible because I like to have a fairly light layer of foundation, especially during the summertime. Now I'm going to take the product that's left on this brush and just run it across my neck and around the chin area so that it blends in a little bit more seamlessly. You can't see them here in this shot, but I do have dark under eye circles this morning because I woke up really early, so I'm going to be using NYX's HD Photogenic Concealer in Light, and I'm going to be using it in a triangle form, that way I can get my under eyes and the redness around my nose all done in one fell swoop. 2000 concealer that everybody talks about. This one dried out for me a bit after a month and was no longer good for the under eye area. However, it works really well on blemishes and old spots. I find it covers them up very well. Plus, the really great part about this is now that it's a bit drier, it's a bit thicker as well, and so the pigmentation is great. I'm just going to buff this all in with the Zoeva 142 brush. I really like this one. I actually like all Zoeva brushes. I feel like they're really high quality, and they don't shed, they wash really well, and yeah, these are kind of amazing. They feel so soft on your skin. Definitely feel like professional brushes, but for a fraction of the price. Then we're going to swipe that down the nose. That way, if my nose kind of gets redder during the day, I'm protected. And I'm going to follow all of that up and set it with the Healthy Balance powder by Bourjois. This is definitely my all-time favorite setting powder. I'm just going to take a little bit there on my e.l.f. Flat Top Studio powder brush and put a very light coating on. Next, we're going to switch on over, start with contouring. This is my Sleek contouring palette. I love this one. It's specifically formulated for light skin tones. For a really natural look, just apply the powder in between your ear and where your eyebrow ends. It's a really small area of your face, but if you just put the powder there and blend it out, it'll give you a really natural look that won't look over the top for daily wear. For highlighting, I'm going to use the Zoeva 105 Luxe Highlight Brush. And I'm just putting it on the tops of the apples of my cheeks, and I'm going back to that Sleek contour kit. Raise your hand if you also make the fishy face while applying highlighter or bronzer. Yeah, that's what I thought. Smile. So now we're going to go for the blush, and I'm using the Sleek Trio Blush by 3, I think it's called, in Lace, and I'm going to be using my Zoeva Cream Blush brush to apply it. Now I know this is a powder brush, but because the Sleek blushes are so pigmented, this brush picks up just the right amount of pigment so that they go on nicely and naturally. Now what I put on here is enough for me for daily use, but just so that it shows up a bit more on the camera, I'm going to go over this a second time. I'm using the the coral peachy colored one at the end. Now to blend everything in, I'm going to be taking the e.l.f. Studio flat top brush again. I'm going to just kind of rub everything in, blend it all in so that nothing looks too shocking. And then we'll be moving on to eyebrows. Now if you follow me on Twitter, you might know I'm kind of obsessed with the Gimme Brow by Benefit. I love this stuff. I kind of bought it because it was so hyped and I was expecting to give like a negative review on it. Because, you know, something that overhyped, it looked like it was just mascara for your eyebrows, but oh, it's so much more. And now I have a problem because I really love this stuff and I'm going to have to buy it every 6 months. Speaking of overhyped products, I bought the Naked 3 palette because there was a 25% off sale at my local Sephora. I'm going to be using a Real Techniques brush to apply Nooner, and I'm going to apply that all over the lid. I like to have kind of a matte base and then put my shimmers on top rather than doing the shimmer and then trying to blend the matte into the crease. I find this just gives an overall more clean look. And yeah, here we go with another Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to be going to the one right next to it, and I think it's called Trick. And I'm going to put that right over the center of my eyelids, just like this. For the brow bone, I'm just going to go for the lightest color here. And as a warning, the first 2 or 3 times I used this color came out really chalky, and it took me a while to get it to work. But now that I've worn it in a bit, it seems to work pretty well. And so I'm just going to use the same brush and blend that all together. Now this is my favorite Zoeva brush. It's the number 230 Luxe pencil, and I love using it to pick up a bit of eyeshadow and use it as an under eye eyeliner. This picks up products so well and it applies beautifully. Now I'm going to be trying out this new eyeliner. It's the Collection 2000 Fast Stroke Eyeliner. So far I'm not a big fan, mainly because the packaging kind of breaks off in my hand sometimes as I'm trying to close it. That's an unfortunate side effect, and I promise I'm being gentle, but otherwise the product itself is really good. It's a really good cheap basic eyeliner and it gets the job done. For everyday eyeliner, I really love liquids, but I also love adding just a bit of a cat flick at the end, just like this. Look how fancy. And I'm going to take my Kiko eyelash curler and whoop, whoop. And you all know what's coming next, mascara. This is the They're Real by Benefit. I absolutely hated this the first week I had it. I found it was too liquidy and it was kind of goopy and made my eyelashes clump together. And then after I let it sit for a few days and let it dry out a bit, I kind of fell in love with it because now it goes on just perfectly, doesn't clump at all, and it's got just the right texture. See, look how nice and long those look. Much better than with my regular mascara. However, I'm still not convinced this is worth 30 euros, but we'll see when it runs out. Moving on to lips. Right now I'm putting on the Revlon lip balm. It's their balm stain. It's called Honey, and I really love it a lot. This one is a great color for when you're not quite sure what to wear because it goes with absolutely everything. And I'll be following that up with the Maybelline Colorsensational Cream Gloss. Yay! This one's in coral.
Alright, so this is the final look. I'm wearing more or less what's on my face right now most days. The exception to this is when I have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning and I have to be out the door at 6:45. And in that case, I obviously have a very condensed makeup routine. I did a blog post about my 5-minute makeup routine, and I'll be sure to post that down below. If you have any questions about this, just post them in the comments or Twitter me, or, you know, we don't say Twitter me, do we? No, just tweet me. Whatever. You get the drift. Alright, now for the exciting news. I'm moving to Lyon! Yay! It's another city in France, and I'm moving there with my husband. I got a job offer that I really I'm very interested in pursuing, so we're going to be heading out there next month sometime. We don't have an apartment yet, but we're looking, so fingers crossed. and I'm really, really excited for this new adventure. Lyon's a much bigger city, there's a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see, and I honestly haven't spent very much time in Lyon, so this should be very exciting. So that's the big news. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. Please subscribe and like this video and leave a comment if you have something to say. I'm really curious. This is the first time I've ever done any sort of makeup routine type video, so I'm pretty nervous about it, but you'll have to let me know what you think. And yeah, ciao friends!